And we're about to get ready with the men's team semifinals here at the WTBA World Championships. We've got Korea versus Finland and the United States against Denmark. And they're going to get started in just a moment. It looks like they're going to give USA and Denmark a couple of extra minutes of practice because they had a breakdown, and it looks like the pin setters are still down. Anyways, I'm Lucas Wiseman of USBC. Stu Williams of Team England is here with us. Good evening, Stu. How are you?
Pretty good, thanks. How are you?
Pretty good. And you might be able to offer a little insight as to which patterns the top seeds picked for these matches.
Well, there was no real shock for Korea. They picked short, which I think pretty much everybody in world bowling knew was going to happen. And the United States, they had a little bit of a choice to make. They went the way that I would have went, which was they chose medium, which was the pattern that I think allows most of their best players to be able to show up and throw a really good game. So it should be quite interesting. However, from what we've been watching in the 15 minutes, Lucas, it looks like the medium's hooking quite a bit more on lane 55, doesn't it?
It does, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, and we'll find out shortly. They're still finishing up practice, USA and Denmark, but Choi Bak-um wasting no time. They're getting started with that match, and he crosses over for Brooklyn.
That's nice.
So obviously the Koreans like the short. They've done well on the short. You give them the edge in this match against Finland?
Yeah, I don't want to upset any Finnish people at home, but I think Finland will have bowled a good game if they get within 100. Finland are pretty much like all the European teams. They don't match up very well on the short, and Korea absolutely adore the short. So we'll see how that match develops. But yeah, hopefully Finland can get off to a really good start and put a little bit of pressure on Korea. Oh, that was a bad break there. Pertu tried to follow Choi Bak-um into the Brooklyn side, but he left the 9-pin.
Well, Finland struggled a bit on the short in the qualifying, but then just annihilated the medium pattern. So that's why they made it here, pretty much, because they were about 500 over on the medium.
Yes, they're both fantastic. But actually, you made a very good point when me and you were sitting here that the reason why the lanes are hooking so much more is because the lane maintenance procedure was done before the ladies' team final. And obviously, if Lucas, the journalist among us, got the scoop on that one, and it's starting to make a little bit more sense because I'm seeing the Team USA guys, they're not panicking, but they're certainly using these extra few shots of practice they're getting, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Like,
there isn't anybody saying, no, I'm good.
Well, it is a very important semifinal match here as the winners of these matches will move on bowl for the gold medal tomorrow afternoon.
Finland need to beat Korea to have a repeat of the final that was so hotly contested in Munich, going down to the two anchor bowlers, Tommy Jones and Oscar.
And you're assuming that the USA will win against Denmark to set up that rematch, but the US will have their hands full with Denmark. Then Denmark bowled great in the team qualifying to make it to this point, and they've got Mika Koivu-Niemi, who is their coach, assistant coach for Denmark, who is obviously very experienced in these situations, and hopefully he can help guide them through this.
Yes. Yeah, that's very true. I was really meaning that. Whatever.
I know what you were meaning.
I'll still take my chances with taking Team USA if you want to take Denmark.
Sure. Yeah, I think that the U.S. and Korea are certainly the favorites in these matches in most people's minds. But
as they say, no match is won on paper.
That's right.
That's why I was sure lacing them up and getting going. I got one answer from it though. I was wondering whether the US, once they picked the medium, they were going to revert back to their usual order with Tommy Jones playing the anchor spot, but Chris Barnes has assumed that responsibility.
Barnes has pretty much dominated this tournament from start to finish. Well, not quite start,
but that doesn't give you any extra pins in the 10th frame when you need a double.
Well, we'll see if that is the situation that occurs.
No, as to say, Chris has been bowling absolutely fantastic this morning on the the Masters finals. Korea put a beating on pretty much everybody else who wasn't Korean except him. I think the other three guys, Martin and Amleto and Bill O'Neill, were almost 400 under between them.
Yeah, they had a rough morning.
But here we go.
We've got a lot of folks in Denmark who are waking up early. They say it's 4:15 in the morning there, so it's going to be an early morning for some folks in Denmark who are tuning in to watch. And by the way, a slight change to the schedule for tomorrow. They had a little bit too much time built in, so they're going to just kind of roll with things tomorrow as they progress and not go with the set schedule. So the women's semifinal, women's gold medal match for team will follow after the Masters, and then the men will follow after that. Just kind of
that's good.
With about maybe a half an hour for a late maintenance in there to wind things down, but no need to have big long breaks during the day when they're not necessary.
The only thing that was nice for it though is the people who played in the Masters. It allowed them a little bit of time to just, gear back down.
Absolutely.
Get their mind set back up for team competition and go.
Today I think it was important because they bowled so many games today. It gave them time to rest. But tomorrow, Masters is just the real quick 2 games.
I don't even think it's about time to rest. I think it's not physical rest. It's just rest your brain.
Yeah, exactly. Mental rest, which you and I are usually on permanent mental rest. But
thanks.
I threw myself in there too. Now I'm not tremendously familiar with the Denmark squad, and I know you probably know them a little bit from seeing them in the European zone. But walk us through who you think might stand out for them here in this this semifinal.
Mick, they're Denmark's best player over the last 4 or 5 years has been their anchorman Thomas Larsen. He's won about 3 times on the European tour, so he's obviously their star player, so to speak. However, their X factor, I would say, is Mick Stamp, the giant who just threw the ball then. He's either 100% perfect or where it goes nobody knows. He's very up and down, is Mick, but when he's on, he strikes a lot, and I think that when they see him striking, that gives a lot of confidence to the rest of the team. Karsten, who's just bowling now, is a younger guy who's been coming through probably the last 3 years he's been playing on the European tour, but this year he's been having quite a few decent results, especially in the qualifying. And then the leadoff, Jimmy Mortensen, has been playing probably for about 6 or 7 years on the European tour with okay success. And then the last one, Frederick, he's the guy going second. He is he's actually dating one of the Swedish girls for just a little bit of
there you go.
Trivia.
Thank you, TMZ Stu.
Yeah. So.
Well, it's not a great start for Team USA. Open from Bill O'Neill on an easy spare, and now a split for Tommy. But
they got the open back, so.
Yep.
That's a good shot from Finland there.
Well, like we said.
Choi almost fluked the spare.
Like we said in the women's team semifinal, it takes a while for these to settle in, even more so than the other semifinals we've had. It's just such a long match, and have to see how it progresses in the first 4 or 5 frames before you really know what's going to happen.
I mean, from what you're saying, to put in perspective, at the 7th frame, there's an entire doubles final left.
Yeah, exactly right.
So that gives people an idea.
A lot can change, and there'll be a lot of swings and momentum shifts, and it'll go back and forth a few times. And
Finland are getting off to a little bit of an early lead there.
Well, Barnes with a strike, and it looks like we might be all even in that one after the first frame, unless Larson can make the split.
Tony Ranta with the first double there. Tony is a guy who's a little bit come out of nowhere. He was a pretty good junior bowler, and he wasn't bowling many of the tournaments. But in the last 12 months, he's been the runner-up in Qatar. on the EBT to Mika. Then he won the tournament on the ABF Tour in Qatar, which was a different thing. And he's won another tournament on the European Tour in Holland. So Tony has definitely stepped up to the plate, to quote some of my American brothers, the last year or so.
Jimmy Mortensen.
Good shot from Jimmy Mortensen there.
Starts with a spare and a strike here in this semifinal.
It's actually interesting to see the United States team. They're a lot more usual that they play one zone of the lane together. And this week you've got JJ and you've got Barnes doing the out thing.
Yeah.
And then you've got Tommy, Bill, and Fagan kind of hooking it. But those three aren't really close to each other either, which I find it a bit interesting. Maybe
so they're
it's
not
just
doing the whole break the lane down the same way team kind of that you see sometimes.
Yeah, I'm.
Well, perhaps they feel comfortable with their ball reaction that they don't.
Well, I think it's actually that they feel a little bit uncomfortable with their ball reaction, because if they did, they could manipulate it to stay together. That's what I think they like to do a little bit more. But we'll see. We'll see how it develops. Korea look a little bit shaky early doors, so hopefully for the Finnish point of view and the European zone point of view, they can step up to the plate and get that early advantage we were talking about.
Well, right now Denmark and the U.S. pretty close. Halfway through the second frame. And pretty close between Finland and Korea, but it's hard to really build any sort of big lead in the first two frames.
Yeah.
In these matches.
For the ball watch update, I will try my best to keep up with it, but while there's 10 guys bowling,
makes it tough.
It's a little bit difficult.
And about half the balls are bowling balls that you can no longer buy.
Yeah, I mean, Team Korea, I think we've got Choi. He's either using a red hammer or he's using a sumo. Then Cho is using a blue crush. Then what's the guy who bowls third? Is he also? Is that Sion?
The guy who bowls
third
for
Shen. Shen. He is using. I think he's using a blue crush also. And then Jongwoo Park. He is using a blue hammer. And then Yun Kim. That's I'm terrible. he's using a Magnum. Now on the Finnish side of it, we've got Pertu. I think he's the only person on the pair using a reactive ball. He's using a game breaker. Oscar's using a natural. Tony Ranter's using the classic U2, and then the other two are both using sumo.
Here's Pertu in the third, working on a strike.
Good shot by Pertu. Nice double for Finland there. Finland with 3 doubles, so they are actually getting a little bit ahead now.
Yeah. That's important for them, I think, if they can get a little bit of ahead against Korea. Because you know Korea is going to make a charge. Well, Denmark keeps getting lucky breaking up the 2-10 split. It's back-to-back shots where they've rolled the 2 forward to break up the split.
That doesn't sound like you're being very neutral there, Lucas. I would say they're being unlucky not to roll the 10 out also.
And Bill O'Neill is off to a horrid start for Team USA.
Yes.
A couple of opens.
Yeah. Bill's had a really up and down week. He's either been really hot or he's been really scrambling to stay in contention.
Yeah, it didn't go so well for him this morning. This afternoon in the Masters second round, and he fell out.
But he bowled extremely well in the morning.
Yeah,
he was actually the high score by quite a margin.
He bowled well in the morning, but in the afternoon it all fell apart.
Yeah, the afternoon. That is the only chink in the Korean armour right there. The 3-6 or the 2-4. I've seen them miss that. I've lost count how many times I've seen them chop the 3-6 or the 2-4. Tony Ranter with a 3-bagger. So Chris Barnes getting up on a strike here. He's throwing the flames up the outside with the EPX.
Well, if Barnes strikes, then 4 of the 5 U.S. players will have struck, but he leaves the bucket and looks down at his hand and must have missed it or something.
Yeah, I think he just got after that one a little bit too much on the speed. He actually got a little bit of a good break there because the 2-pin started to wobble, and I thought he was going to get the horrid break of it falling over. So all things being equal in that match, there's going to be probably count in it.
Yeah. Well, Finland's off to a good start. They're throwing some strikes out there, and Korea's not doing a whole lot early on, but I mean, I would expect that Korea will settle in here and start to get into a little bit of a roll like they normally do.
For the first time, it actually looks like for Korea, the lane looks a little bit too dry as also. So I'm sure they'll figure out a solution. They normally do.
Posse up for Finland, looking for a
needs
double.
to hook.
No problem.
Good shot.
And look at the emotion.
Oh, yeah.
Posse doesn't show much emotion. Oh, look at this.
Chris. I was kind of surprised he shot it that way, actually.
Yeah, he tried to hook it at it, and the ball never hooked. Hooked a little bit, but not nearly enough.
So USA, Janovic's aside, off to a bit of a shaky start.
Yeah. Same thing happened to the women.
Janovic and Fagan, the only ones without opens.
Yeah, Team USA with 4 opens and 2 frames. And that is... Oh, look at
this! Oh, lucky break central.
Hello. JJ slaps it out.
JJ's actually using his non-flaring urethane on the left lane, which is the Nitro, and he's using his flaring urethane on the right lane, which is the Stingray C.
What are your thoughts on Osku's look on the short?
About the same as mine.
Started with a double, but...
the thing is Osku actually, on the fresh on the short, actually doesn't feel too bad. He's kind of similar to me. He can control the friction, but once the oil starts to carry down, then he struggles a little bit to... You know, when you're not sure it's going to hook and you throw it that hard, it's a little bit difficult. So, for him, it'll be interesting to see how much the carry down that the Korean team creates is going to cause him problems.
So that'll be something to look for in a few frames once things settle in.
But having said that, the Korean team, for the first time, I'm actually seeing their balls not look very good. So
yeah, they're looking a little shaky early on here. It's not the same reaction we've seen from them.
No, but
long ways to go. So
we've bowled 15 frames. So there's 35 to go. There's a lot of opportunities for things to turn around.
Well, we hope that you will get on Facebook and Twitter and let everybody know that you're watching the live streaming here on bowl.com. You can find live scoring on bowl.com as well on the World Championships homepage.
I think with the medal tally as well, with the way that the matches happen now, I think it can be a little bit misleading over which is the teams that have actually bowled the best, overall. Because the team that wins the most medals, the most gold medals, isn't necessarily the team that bowled the best throughout the week, is it now? Whereas it used to be a really good indication of, oh wow, they bowled very well. So,
oh, almost a split for Korea. I think that Finland's up about 70 pins right now.
Yeah, which is good for the European zone.
And I think you would agree that the European zone has had a little bit of a disappointing tournament.
Yeah,
not a lot of medals on the medal count for the Europeans.
It's been very difficult. I mean, Martin bowled very well the first day, and then since then, not so much.
Yeah, Diana Zaviolova got a bronze
she did
in
very
all
well
events.
in the all events. Martin actually lost his all events medal in the very last game. He was in the top 3 the entire week. That was kind of heartbreaking for him because I know how much he really. how important the World Championships is to him. And then to see it happen like that the last game when the scores kind of just got out of control in the team event the last game. Korea are being very quiet. Usually when they're bowling not that well, they're still fairly boisterous, but they don't. Maybe they're as shocked as Finland are with the start they've made.
Hard to get excited over a slow start like Korea's had.
Yeah, but they still manage. Like, I've seen them high 10 gutter balls, so.
Portu with a 3-pin. Is that one? Oh, crosses a little bit too far to the left.
Well, not far enough to the left.
Yeah, could have gone a bit more, huh?
Ooh, oh. There you go. See, you're not watching when the United States get a good break on the 2-8-10.
Did he get the 10 out late?
Yes,
I was pulling up the medal count, actually, to see who's leading. And Team USA with 5 gold, 1 silver, 3 bronze. Korea 2 gold, 3 silver, 1 bronze.
And they've got another 6 to come.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Still to be determined. Canada with a gold and a silver. This is as coming into today.
Yeah.
Finland's got a silver and a bronze. Germany got a silver. So Sweden got a bronze. So there's a few European.
Yeah, I forgot. I actually forgot when I was talking about mine. I forgot about Bodo.
Yeah.
He bowled extremely well as well the first day. The approaches look like they're causing the Team USA guys a little bit more trouble than they're causing the Danish team right now.
And right now Denmark is leading in that match by a couple of marks. Koreans with a strike from Shin.
Tony Ranta getting up here on the left lane. Yeah, he's getting up just before Chris. Trying to work on his 3-bagger. Looks good. 4 in a row for Tony Ranta.
Good start for Tony. Denmark leads by 12.
Chris likes this one a bit more.
Oh, look at this.
He liked that one as well.
Yeah, it's not good. Denmark led by 12, but it could become more than 20 if Chris doesn't make the spare.
There we go.
Well, maybe the Koreans have flipped the light on here.
Maybe they were listening to the web stream. Thomas Larsson looks like he's got a ball that's just a little bit too smooth right now. If I was him, I'd be looking for a ball that was a little bit cleaner and something that would come off the spot a little bit harder, because right now it looks like that ball is just hooking it a bit too much for how much that ball wants to hook down the lane, and he's just in flat 10 territory a lot.
Chris Barnes probably going to give this a run here.
Nope.
Not much to lose going for it, but it's an open, so Denmark leads by 20, about 20 pins, let's say.
That could have been a really, really bad frame for Team USA if Janovic hadn't got the break on the 2-8. Sorry, the 4-8.
Yeah, he tripped the 8 into the 4 for the strike.
So right now, it's the underdogs who are looking good early doors.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Having said that, Petteri Salonen just missed the 10-pin by a yard. Looking at his hand, he seems to indicate that it just dropped off his hand.
Yeah, it's frustrating when you give away easy pins like that.
I think Oscar and Passy are going to make the Korean guys wait here. I don't think they're going to be in a rush. Because with the Korean guys getting so many strikes this frame, they've just gone ahead and bowled.
Yeah.
And as I say, I don't think Finland are in a rush to let them get back.
I don't blame them. That's a veteran move right there.
They can
slow it down.
Cool down a little.
Sure.
Oh, Jimmy Morrison with the flying messenger into the 9.
Like you said the other day, Stu, you see that a lot here with the guys.
Yeah.
The guys who are able to fly the pin across and take out the 9.
Passy just missed that one a little bit, the bottom a little bit end over end.
Moves the 2-4-5.
Jimmy demanding Mika give him the high 5 then. Mika left him hanging for a little bit then. Maybe Mika's just got one eye on the Finland match.
A lot of people surprised that Mika is coaching Denmark. Not he bowled last time in the World Championships for Finland, and now he's coaching Denmark. But it's not unusual for players from countries to go to another country and coach. It happens all the time.
It's about a funding issue as well. In that Denmark have more funding, I mean. No, I just wanted to clarify that so we didn't have any questions about what that was. Oh, good spare from passive. It's amazing how many times that happens in this bowling centre, though. When the pins get reset, the 2 and the 3 seem to wander a little bit.
Well, he makes the spare, no problem. It's certainly Finland taking their time. Oh, lucky break there. I saw that lucky break for Team USA.
I'm really surprised by the way they're playing the lanes. They must be hooking so much more than they were in the middle of the lane now. Because you can obviously observe what's going on, but unless you're actually throwing shots, it's a lot harder to get a feel for exactly how the lanes are playing.
Asku comes up a little light, leaves the 2-pin. This is pretty similar to what we saw in the women's semifinal. It's just very slow, very not a lot of striking, not a lot of momentum. It's
which is actually kind of surprising in the USA-Denmark match after they chose medium. You thought that.
And both of our women's matches were on medium too.
Yeah. But all I mean is the guys had scored so high on the medium in the team.
Yeah.
Like, there was a lot of teams who scored high.
So there's a double for Mitt.
There you go. It's starting to energize the team a little bit. It's pretty nice to see, but if you actually watch on the camera, you can see that Jesper Ejabo, who is the 6th man on the team, so to speak, he's rushing in there. He's one of the first guys to give anybody 5, and he's also the spare ball manager right now.
Everybody's got their role, right?
Yeah. Jesper's actually probably the most experienced player on their team.
Yeah, I think so.
He got a bronze, or was it silver? Silver medal in Thailand in the Masters. He lost to Walter Ray.
Yeah, I remember that.
He beat Dominic, I think, in the semi-finals.
Oh boy. A little off balance on that shot.
That's the thing with the urethane. When you're not using urethane, everybody else is. You only have to miss it a little bit, and then not so pretty.
Well, Denmark's coming on strong here in the 4th.
Yeah.
Team USA could be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah. From a neutral point of view, hopefully.
Yeah, of course. Certainly seems like Denmark's going to give Team USA all they can handle here.
Yep.
Which maybe a little more than they can handle. At least early on, that's been the case.
So I'll just quickly go down the balls that I know. Jimmy Mortenson's on Brunswick staff, and please forgive me, but I honestly don't know which ball that is because it's a dark blue ball. It might be a beatdown, but I'm really not sure because Jimmy tends to use some stranger equipment. Frederick is using a disruption from Colombia, and Thomas Larson, who just threw there, is using a smackdown. The 2 guys in the middle, Nick Stamp and Karsten, they're both using the Marvel S. JJ's using his 2 old urethanes. Fagan's using a Prodigy. I haven't actually seen what Bill's been throwing. I think it might be a Stinger low flare. Sorry, an Arson low flare. Tommy just changed ball from a smackdown to the new not released, can't buy, not sure it's fair pivot. And Chris Barnes is, of course, using the ball he's used the entire week. He could have actually registered 2 balls for the entire week.
And he won the all events, too.
Yeah, and he won by a mile as well, not by a little bit.
Yeah, he won by a lot, more than 200 pins.
And he set the record, the all-time record.
Did he?
Yeah, he beat Remy Ong. So he's using the EPX. And his spare ball, just to complete it, is a Vector 1. So, yeah. you all run out to your pro shops and see if they've got any of those left.
If your pro shop is eBay, you might have a chance. Otherwise,
for those two, I still think you're struggling. Yeah, if you go into some of the new pro shops, they might go, what?
Here's Barnes for Team USA. That was not a great shot, but he gets away with it.
Pays in the bucket. Looks at the pins like, yeah, I'm Chris Barnes. I deserve that.
Very fortunate on that one.
To be honest, if I'd led all events by as many as he had, I'd be looking at the pins going, yeah. Korea starting to make a little bit of a run there. They got another double.
I've got Denmark up 44 on Team USA after 4 frames.
Oh, I apologize. Salonen is actually using... He's using... wow. He's using a Brunswick ball. I think it might be the Karma urethane drilled upside down. He's got the pin right above his thumbhole.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's kind of designed to just make the ball roll a little bit earlier, be a little bit smoother, and actually flare a little bit less. So.
Well, a couple of doubles on the board for Korea.
I've been very impressed with that kid this week.
Mr. Park.
John Woo Park, yeah. He's played exceptionally well.
Jimmy Mortensen playing exceptionally well right now with spare 4-bagger to start this game.
He dominated the youth in Finland. The World
Park
Youth.
Did. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks a lot like Team USA just have way too much surface.
Oh.
He just can't strike on that lane.
Yeah, Kim with another single pin leave on the left lane. It would have been a big momentum boost for Korea had he struck there. To have 3 players going with doubles.
Looks good.
Finland got off to a pretty good start, but it kind of slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, kind of what we expected. Frederick close with this one. Yeah, good shot.
Well, you can just tell the Danes get more confident with each shot, it seems like.
The Danes have just, they've looked at this completely different to Team USA. They've got a lot less surface on the ball. I mean, in general, USA use a lot more surface than most of the other countries anyway, because their rev rates are higher. But right now, it seems like the strategy of using it a little bit less surface is looking good. We have a breaking news. Tim Tebow just threw a touchdown pass.
Well, we can be assured that Denmark will have a big celebration here if Mick strikes again for 3 in a row.
Oh, wow.
That is way out the window.
That ball was halfway down the lane and Mika was already heading back to take
Yes.
a drink. I think he'd like it to be a little bit stiffer than water.
Oscar with a split.
2-8-10.
That's not a great frame for
This
Finland.
one, he might go for the backup scam, but I've got a feeling he's probably going to go for the...
Go for the pins.
No, this is going to be traveling.
Oh boy, he's going to smoke it here, isn't he?
Oh,
If he'd have caught a piece of that, it might have bounced it across, but instead he gets 0. And
well, it was only really a two-pin loss. So I still believe that the best thing with the 2-8-10 is just to take 2 every time. Because even if, like Frosky then, he missed them all. He has to spare it 1 in 5 to make up if he misses like that.
Yeah. It looks like, wow, big split for Choi. I was going to say that it's down to about a 10-pin difference between Finland and Korea. They're pretty much even.
Choi's been really struggling in the team event actually. He hasn't been bowling very well at all.
But when you look at how the lefties have done this week, it's haven't been a lot of lefties that have bowled exceptional this week, and Choi has really bowled okay. So.
Oh well.
I know it doesn't hurt your
hotel right here.
Doesn't hurt your feelings if the lefties don't bowl well, but.
No, all I really meant was relative to his own scores, he's bowled bally in team event.
Yes.
like he's bowled considerably less in team event than he bowled in the other events. On both patterns, not just on one pattern. That's got a good chance.
Oh! What a huge reaction out of that one.
Yep, they're starting to feel it right now.
Yeah, they are.
Team USA really need Chris and Tommy to both strike here. Tommy's the guy who can, more than anybody else on the US team, Tommy is the guy who can light it up and add some excitement to it.
Oh, look at that. 9-pin goes.
Have a little finger wag at them or whatever.
Not too exciting after that. Excited after that, but
yeah, give him another couple of strikes. Exactly. I think Tommy might be.
Might start giving him the business, as we say.
This is one of the points at where they miss players like Patrick Allen. PA is the guy. You know, he might not be bowling as well as the other guys, you know, all week or whatever. But when they're down in the trenches like this, he's the guy who could ignite the team. He can, you know, he's definitely the guy who's, you know, whether it's pointing at the Korean coach in Thailand or, you know, screaming at the Finnish team in Munich. He's generally their go-to guy, and now they've only really got Tommy. So if Tommy's not going to bowl as well, they don't really have that guy who's, you know. They've got a lot of quiet guys now.
Oh, there's a double for Barnes.
Bill O'Neill, Mike Fagan, and John Janovitz. They're not really the most intimidating three guys, are they? You know, on the lanes.
I agree.
And then the backup guys, John Sabinski, you can't really expect the guy as young as him to be the one who's going to be getting in everybody's face either.
Looks like a 66-pin lead for Denmark at the halfway point.
But like I say, they got two huge strikes there at the bottom there with Chris striking and Tommy. So that game's got a long way to run.
It does.
What frame do you think it's going to be before we stop saying that game's got a long way to run?
Depends on how close it stays.
Petri Salonen there with a good shot to get the strike. Oh, JJ got a little bit short on that one.
3-6-9-10 lead for JJ, which is
not
exactly
fun,
what you want to be shooting.
Especially when you're throwing urethane.
Yeah,
Here
it's
goes
tough.
Jimmy. Oh.
As soon as he let it go, somebody yelled "uh-oh" from the Danish side, and he leaves the same thing. JJ left the 3-6-9-10.
See, Jimmy showed. I think that was a poor decision from Jimmy. He actually jumped the other pair to go because he wanted to get the strike. He was really keen to get the strike after USA, you know, had the open. And I think it might have been better just taking not the open, but the opening, so to speak. And I think he might have been better just taking a deep breath and just waiting a little bit. But hindsight's 20/20 and all. Oh.
Nice conversion by Janowitz. He throws it dead straight.
Who would have thought that when JJ left that they went plus? They actually went +10 for that deal.
They did, yeah.
I'll scoot.
And
wow.
he leaves one.
3 out of 4.
That's crazy.
But it's right around the 5th or 6th frame. It's when the lanes start to change, and I guess you'll be seeing some of the teams making some decent-sized alterations, especially in the medium match.
Four-pin. Eliminates the possibility of a double there for Frederick. Oh, it was dancing in front of the 9-pin for Kim.
He actually, he was the runner-up in the Scorpion World Series 3 years ago over at South Point in Vegas. See, Fagan saw what I was saying, and he's changed to, he saw the same thing I was seeing, is what I mean. And he's changed to the Marvel Pearl, which is obviously going to give him a little bit more skid.
Oh boy, missed single pin.
Team USA are looking to make a bit of a run these next couple of frames, I think.
It's amazing how it can flip around. Like, I mean, Denmark was up by
Well,
more
they've
than
got
60, and now they've given away 20 pins right there.
and USA have only gone spare.
Yeah, and they've made up 20 pins.
Yeah, 20 plus count on spare is huge at this point in the match. Now the first two guys have put a lot of pressure on Karsten and Thomas to keep their doubles going.
For sure.
I mean, the only kind of small snippet for the Danish team is the fact that there hasn't been any strikes from Team USA yet. What are we at?
Well, Mick's going to go next, although Choi's on the approach as well.
20 pins in that game right now in the finish game. That's a bit wide.
Choi sends the messenger across to get the 10 out, and Mick leaves the 2.
Right now, there's 21 pins in that game.
In the Finland, Korea are 21 pins down. So relatively close with so many frames left. Oh boy.
Oh, Pertu made the adjustment.
Carry the extreme Brooklyn.
Bill O'Neill with a ball change. He changed to the new hammer ball, the AMP. It's quite a bit stronger than the Stinger low flare, but I think it skids a little bit more. So
double on the board for Cho.
It's funny. Ever since Jongwoo Park in that 4th frame, when we were saying how they were a little bit quiet, ever since he just really charged the team up. And now the guys look like they're a little bit looser, they're shouting a little bit more. They look good now. I think that's very underrated in team bowling. Having that one guy who can really light the team up.
Having the spark.
Yeah.
Tony Ranta, double. He's bowling well in this semifinal match.
Yep.
He's leading Finland right now in score.
He's leading everybody.
Yeah, he is. He's 129 in the
by quite a bit as well. It's probably 30. He's personally 30 pins up on the field.
Shin leaves a 10 pin. I think this is a big shot for TJ here to get Team USA fired up.
I think you might see a little bit of emotion if he gets a strike here. Oh boy.
Crosses over, and he gets the 6th to fall. You won't see too much emotion on a shot like that.
Depends if it's the 9th frame. Chris said to him, "You line me up now, boss?" Tommy said, "Over to you, Skip."
Salonen gets the 9 out for a double. So Finland building their lead a little bit, huh?
Yep. They got another 10 pins, so they're back up to 30. Oh, that needs to hook. Oh, back-to-back 2 pins there.
It's not been a great frame for Denmark here.
No, but at least they could afford it, so to speak.
Yeah, although not sure you want to give any pins back to Team USA.
No.
And Barnes is going to take a re-rack.
But, you know, this, out of the frames that were left, this wasn't the worst frame to do it in. Because the 8th frame is the last time you're going to have a chance to have a look at the lane you're going to finish on. So,
yeah, that's true.
And like I said, right around the 5th frame. 5th and 6th frame is when you're going to see some changes in the lanes. Mr. Emotion there, Pasi Uotila.
It's funny. It's funny. He only shows emotion when he does something bad.
Oh, yeah.
That's about it. And that was a bad shot for Karsten from Denmark as he misses the spare. And
that was almost a good break because he missed that one in by quite a bit then. That's what happens when you don't get it. Unfortunately, Denmark are having a train wreck of a frame right now.
Yeah, 3 opens.
He misses the 2-8. And if Chris Barnes strikes here, this game must be getting pretty close to being level again.
Yeah, for sure.
In fact, USA might take the lead.
Barnes loved that off his hand. It's just amazing how quick these games can turn around in the course of a frame. Great frame for Finland as they go 5 for 5 in the 7th. Yeah, I think Team USA is in the lead.
Every one of their players, they went light except Jimmy.
Yeah.
The last 3 guys all 2-pinned. Yeah, Team USA are going to be leading by...
It's pretty close.
They're going to be up by 10, I think.
Yeah.
But considering they went into the frame 60 down, that's...
Right, that's a huge swing right there. In the
and
seventh,
with only 2 doubles.
That's right. Big swing in the 6th in that one. And there's an open frame for Korea in the 7th.
Just as Korea was starting to get back into it, Finland have caught a second wind and gone on again. Yeah, right now Denmark are actually 1 pin ahead.
Look at the scoreboard for Korea and Finland after 7 frames. Finland with a lead that is growing, and that's a tough break for Choi Bakun.
Yeah, we're looking. Finland are starting to think. Having said that, though, Finland have had a couple of good breaks right there, so things can change pretty easily.
JJ went from throwing the green ball to the black ball.
Always throws the black ball on the left lane.
Oh, on the left lane. Gotcha.
Yes. But good spot on the different ball. But yeah, he's been throwing them. He's spared it. Jimmy, he's giving it a bit more room this time. Looks like a good shot.
That was a much better shot for Jimmy after leaving the 3-6-9-10 in the last frame.
This is a pretty big shot here for Korea because Cho is the only one on a double. He's the only one on a strike, full stop. So
yeah, he's got to keep this string going here for Korea, and he does.
Wow, that was 10 back.
Well, there's a big opportunity for Finland to really surge into the lead big time if they can put some strikes on the board in the 8th.
Perthu's just been fiddling around with the tape in his ball, so I guess he's not feeling too confident about the feel at the minute. So hopefully he can put a good shot in and get the double he was after.
Oh no, big split for Frederick.
I think he thought that was a pretty good shot then.
3-4-6-7. I think Perthu liked that one.
Perthu changed ball. Changed to what looked to me to be a 300C from here, the purple one. Fagan with the big move inside.
Well,
great shot.
Strike for him after being on a spare fest for a while.
Oh, Shin with the split. This is starting to look good for Finland.
Sure is.
Starting
to look better and better for Team USA as well.
I tell you what, this is going to be, if Finland would make it to the team final, this is going to be such a turnaround. They shot 230 over the last game to make it. They were nowhere with 2 games to go. They were plus
like
30. They were plus 37 after.
Yeah.
Or plus 42, I think it was, after 4 games.
And they got the 500 over too, so that's crazy.
O'Neal with a pretty good break there on the ring 10.
Something came from behind and slapped it.
Tony Ranta stepping up big time here with the 3-bagger.
I'm telling you, Korea's in a lot of trouble.
Yep, that's for sure.
Finland is putting their foot on the throat right now.
How much? And I wondered whether this would happen. And I was completely against the schedule for the way that it was. Yeah. How much do you think that the schedule today has affected Team Korea's chances? And to some extent, Team USA when they had so many guys playing the Masters? Because they bowled all day. Finland haven't bowled at all.
Yeah.
I think it was a really poor decision by the tournament committee to have the 5-man team afterwards. Because the Masters is the way we finished the tournament. You can't... Everybody bowls as a team all week. And now we've suddenly changed to bowl as individuals, and now we're going back to bowl as a team. I think it was a very strange decision. And Team Korea had 4 guys bowl all day, whereas Finland had 2 guys bowl in the morning and then have the rest of the day off. I think that was a big. I think that's a big advantage.
7 games for, 13 games for the Koreans is no big deal. It's not like they're.
But it's not the 13 games. It's the fact that they've been. It's not the 7 games. It's the fact that they've been competing all morning and all afternoon. You use a lot of energy to do that.
TJ
There's Tommy
giving him
Jones.
business a little bit there.
Finally hits the pocket, so he's able to run one out.
Stu, if you were watching much this morning, there wasn't a whole lot of energy being exerted in the morning squad. It was
No, but all I'm saying is
subdued.
7 games of match play is a lot, and the Korean team look a little flat right now, and Finland are definitely taking advantage of it. So good for them.
Finland's on a roll, and they're just striking at will now.
I tell you what, if Osku strikes here, this game's just about over.
Certainly, it's looking that way. Denmark rebounds with 4 strikes in the 7th frame and an open. But Team USA is kind of putting the screws to them here a little bit as well, as they are putting some strikes together. And wouldn't be surprised if Chris Barnes slaps it out if he strikes here in the 7th. But he's going to take his time, let Osku step up.
So just as you're a little bit close to the inside, what was the thinking about playing the team event now?
The thinking was, and Osku
rolls the 2-pin. was it that we'd get a lot of people to come and watch the team event finale?
Yeah, I think it was to put more of an emphasis on the team event and make it the more showcase event and have it in the evening, and then also have the tournament end with the team event, which you've been to a lot of World Championships. What's the most exciting event usually? It's the team event at the end. So why would you not want to end the championships with the most exciting event?
My issue with that is we bowled the team event. It was exciting. Then all the energy was completely drained out because we've been waiting for it for 2 days.
Yeah, but
and there's nobody here.
And Chris Barnes with another strike.
But anyway, moving along. Team USA starting to put the screws in. Finland's starting to put the screws in.
Yeah, and it's starting to look like Finland may be running away with this thing against Korea.
And Team USA are now 40 pins ahead. But we shall see how this develops.
So that's about a 100-pin swing in 2 frames.
Yeah. And the last 3 guys look much more confident now than they did maybe 3 or 4 frames ago. So we'll see. JJ made the big move there, and a bit of emotion from JJ with the fist bump.
JJ getting intense, and Chris Barnes smiling about it.
Chris Barnes laughing at him. I'm sure he appreciated that.
He finds it entertaining. Oh, boy.
Oh, Jimmy with another 2-pin. That's the 4th time in a row that Denmark have left the 2-pin on that lane.
Yeah, a combination of the 2-pin with the split or just by itself. Pertu in the 9th, working on a double. That's way right. Oh, my goodness. How about that? Came back from the depths of nowhere to strike on that one.
And you were saying Pasi and Osku are going, oh, my God, what was that? And Pertu's saying, that's exactly what I meant. What's your problem?
Oh, and a split for Cho, who was the only one that was stringing strikes for Korea. That might just about do it for them.
Oh, I think once Osku rolled that 2-pin, that match was over.
It's just about over.
So it's looking right now at this moment like we're looking at a repeat of last time's final.
Yeah, if it continues at this pace, yes. Fagan goes high, leaves a 6-10.
But he broke it up, marked the frame, move along.
Well, if Denmark wants to have any chance, they got to start putting some strikes on the board here in the 8th. And they've got to find a way to look a little more comfortable on this left lane, since this is the lane they finish on. Because it's not looked good the last 4 or 5 shots on this lane for them. Oh, now almost a pocket 7-10. That would have been bad.
That sounded like a cracked pin then.
It did. It sounded a bit weird.
Horrible. Oh, Tony Ranter broke it up. Leave just the 10. I think Finland right now, if they leave the 10-pin every shot, are going to be reasonably happy. Well, as happy as Finnish people can be anyway. Oh, ring 10.
Stuart Williams' opinions are his own and not representative of Bull TV or the USBC.
I'm definitely claiming my own opinions, that's for sure.
You certainly have no shortage of them.
Well, that's why it's entertaining to listen to.
Well, Bill O'Neill up in the 8th, working on a double. Looks good.
Bill O'Neill with the strike.
You can see that Team USA has kind of found the fire a little bit. Kind of expected that would happen at some point.
Yeah, Denmark helped them out a little bit with the few bad frames. It's unfortunately looking like it's petering out somewhat at this minute.
Yeah, it looked real good for Denmark early on, and then it just kind of ran out
and
of gas.
It looked like with 2 frames ago or 3 frames ago that the Korea game was going to be pretty close also. I think that someone should have a word with Team USA and make them pick the medium for entertainment value.
Well, it's still not. I mean, Denmark and USA is still not over. It's still Denmark's still got a chance, but Team USA certainly is pulling away. But Denmark's got a couple of guys working on strikes here. They can put 3 doubles on the board.
If they can get no strikes out of Tommy or Chris here,
they would need a little help.
If one of them doesn't strike and they get the 2 doubles at the bottom, yes, it certainly makes it a little bit more entertaining. But
oh, look at the 10 get snapped out from the bottom.
USA have got all the breaks going their way right now. That was a decent shot from Tommy, but he certainly wasn't expecting it to strike, and then slapped the 10 out just like that one there for Finland. But that's the interesting thing about all these formats and everything, Lucas. Everybody's got a different opinion on the right way of doing it, and there isn't necessarily a right way or a wrong way to do any of it.
Well, Karsten with a strike for the double and trying to keep things alive for Denmark. Critical that they get a shot at Thomas Larsson here.
Yes. And almost as critical that Chris Barnes misses.
Yeah. But still 2 frames to go. They're a frame behind the other match. Posse looks like he's taking his time over there. As Chris steps up in the 8th. There it is.
That's 80 pin lead for the USA now.
O'Neill, Jones, and Barnes. All 3 stringing strikes now.
Oh, close. Yeah, Posse strikes again. This is amazing. This is already the highest game that Finland have bowled on short.
Yeah, Finland's bowling outstanding.
Oh, come on, Thomas. Hit it, hit it, hit it. Oh.
Tough break.
Maybe Finland were just playing possum the whole week. Oh. Again, like we said, flat 10, make the spare, move on.
Yeah, Finland doesn't have to do a whole lot to pick up the win. Just keep it clean, pretty much.
If you look at the body language in the seating area, I think it's pretty obvious to see which teams have got the large advantage. Chris is now joking with Mika, probably letting him know that he always beats him, and this is just another one. Telling him that he'll let him know next year when they're rooming together.
Oh, we're in the 9th frame.
Oh, good shot.
Jimmy with a strike. Denmark clearly not giving up hope. Still almost 2 full frames to go.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get some more awkward excitement out of John Janowitz if he strikes here.
Poor JJ.
Oh, a 2-4-5.
Nothing like running out the 2-8-10 Pertu.
He got the 8 out. Give him some credit.
Okay.
It was only a 2-10.
And he only got 2 lanes away.
He was trying to help it, I would assume.
No, I think he thought it was good and then it didn't hook. That's always that awkward moment, especially when you bowl league or something and you think you've got the strike and you give it the fist pump and you get 7. Always feels nice.
Just looking at the math, it looks like Finland's up about 130 pins or something going into the 10th. So,
unfortunately for us and the viewers, both these games are pretty much over now.
They seem to be headed that direction in the U.S.
Because I mean,
match.
US are almost 100 ahead now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Denmark would need for an implosion on the U.S. side, and well, that helps a little bit. Every little bit helps for Denmark, but they need an awful lot of help in this last 2 frames.
So anyway, just fast forwarding through to the final, we can have a little bit of a preview sort of thing.
Are you going to be here tomorrow for it with us for the final, or are you?
If I'm still invited,
we'll have to discuss it afterwards.
Yeah. We'll see. I think the US squad are probably going to lean towards short, just because they feel like they've got. Yeah.
After watching these guys.
Yeah, but I still think overall they're probably going to pick short.
Yeah, Finland's just too good on the medium.
Do you see a way in which they're going to play Zabinski instead of Fagan like they did in the games, or do you think they'll go with the experience of Fagan and the big time? Just, I mean, from an outside viewpoint, I mean, I don't know one way or the other. I
think it's a toss-up, really. I don't know. I don't know which way it'll go.
No, that's certainly the only decision they have if they end up picking short, because I'm pretty sure the other 4 guys are.
Yeah, I think you're
pretty much set.
I think you're probably right on that.
And then the Finnish guys, they're definitely set. They're not changing anything.
Well, it's 3 in a row for Mick.
Yeah,
keeps his string alive.
He's making me look good as he's got a chance to bowl 240.
That's right.
Bigged him up at the start of the game.
You said it would be either feast or famine for him, and it's been feast.
It's definitely been feast, yeah. I thought that might have been what the spark they needed, but
4 in a row now for Bill O'Neill. He strikes in the 9th. And every time Team USA continues one of those strings, it gets better and better for them.
It's like, it's another nail in the coffin, so to speak.
Denmark's done their best to keep pace with Team USA, but it's a tall order.
Yeah.
Team USA is the 3-time reigning team champions. So they won in Korea, Thailand, and Germany.
And they could win their 3rd gold medal in a row this time. And I don't think they'd have been the top seed any of the last 3 times. Actually, I think they might have been in Munich. I think they might have been the top seed in Munich, but they weren't in Thailand and they weren't here.
Well, that's the format, and everybody knows it coming in.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet it is a lot of times. Either the 3rd or 4th seed seems to come and win the gold medal. It happens a lot.
I mean, that's what one of the guys was laughing. I think it was Passy said to me. He said that the best Chris Barnes could expect out of the Masters was a bronze medal because nobody could beat everybody by that many and then get the good breaks.
Tommy Jones. Oh, that's about the only thing that was going to stop his string right there as he leaves the 9-pin in the pocket. But it doesn't much matter because. I was about to say,
I don't think he's too heartbroken.
Because Karsten did the same thing, left a 9-pin and ended his string of strikes. So it doesn't really help Denmark much, other than keep Team USA from beating them by even more. Well, let's see if I can figure out the score here. It's about 67 pins Team USA is up by, it looks like, before these guys bowl this next shot. And Denmark has no chance to cut into it on this shot right here. That's 10 pin, but if Barnes strikes, the Team USA lead is
70.
More than 70 pins, 77, I think, he strikes on the shot.
It's pretty difficult to make inroads where you don't have many strikes. That's the main issue for them.
Yeah, and
Thomas had a stroke, they'd have at least had 3 strikes on the board, and they could maybe think about making a bit of a run. But
yeah, Denmark's only got two guys with a strike going into the 10th, and Barnes just struck again in the 9th, so that's the problem for Denmark. They don't have anything to build off of from the 9th frame.
It's amazing once that starts happening how 6 frames ago that would never have struck. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lady Luck is certainly a fickle beast.
Well, I think the Koreans are going to be awfully disappointed with how they performed here in the semifinal.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't have put a lot of money on Korea not bowling 1,000, but that's certainly a possibility. In fact, I don't even think they can get to 1,000 even if both the guys at the bottom strike out.
Barely.
Yeah.
Yeah, just barely.
But hopefully they can take some solace in the fantastic performance of both the women and the men today in the Masters.
Yeah, they're going to have it's going to be almost the Korea show tomorrow morning for the Masters.
Is that
semis.
just a one-game deal? The same.
Same thing. Yeah. And all 4 of the semifinals going on at the same time for the men and the women. Posse seems completely uninterested in celebrating that strike, and I don't blame him.
He's wasted. He wants to save him for tomorrow.
Split. I think that'll keep Korea out of the 1,000 threshold.
Yep.
Finland's already at 1043.
Which, after the last 5-man team I bowled, where the anchorman got up and they already had 1250 on the board, seems... That was almost surreal, that last game Mexico bowled.
Yeah.
It was just...
I heard about it. I didn't see it. But
well, I saw all of it because we were bowling against them.
You were bowling against them.
Yeah, it was...
They shot 1309, right?
They shot 1309, and their other guy shot 278.
Wow. That's impressive.
Maybe they should have a 6-man record. Yeah, they went almost 400 over for the game with the 6 guys. That was...
Well, Jimmy didn't strike to start the 10th, and he was only one of 2 guys who had strikes going into the 10th frame for Denmark, so
yeah,
it's about all she wrote, I think, in both matches. For sure, Finland wins. Posse shoots 267, and they are going to get pretty close to 1,100 this game and win by
they're going past 1,100.
Yeah, well, they can get to 1113 is their max.
I thought Oscar might have thrown the high hard one down the middle. Either that or here it goes.
Oscar throwing it one-handed up the middle for his own entertainment, I suppose.
Don't know, it entertained me. It was better than watching him get 7 with the urethane.
Yeah, they're going to win with Oscar shooting 180 if he makes the spare.
Mm-hmm. And win pretty comfortably as well.
Yeah. Mike Fagan, a double for Fagan, and look at him. Oscar just barely clipped that. We didn't see it, but Fagan is got a double on the board, and I think it's a certainty now Team USA will win. Mm-hmm. So it sets up a rematch of last time's gold medal match between the USA and Finland, which was probably right up there with one of the best 5-man team matches I've ever seen.
It was very exciting. It went down to the anchor bowlers.
Yeah, it went down to Tommy Jones at the end, throwing a strike to win it.
I do have one question for you because I haven't paid quite enough attention. Team USA and the ladies were the high seed, weren't they?
Yes, they were.
Yes.
So 1101 for Finland and 976 for Korea. And I would say that total is a bit surprising.
Yeah, I think if the bookmakers in Vegas had been taking bets, they'd have been very happy with that outcome.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people would have put their money on Korea to win that.
I certainly would have done. So Mike Fagan's going to finish up with 204. Janovitz can let him know that, that's why you're in the 2 hole and I'm the leadoff.
Yeah, it's going to be the low score on the team, most likely.
Well, if Bill doesn't strike this shot, he's going to be in the 2-0s also.
You're right.
So they could actually go 2-0, 2-0, 2-10, and then whatever Chris shoots, and win pretty handily. But that just goes to show how easy those games turn around. It was basically the 5th and 6th frame, I think it was, or was it the 6th and 7th frame, Lucas?
Yeah, it was the 6th and the 7th when it turned around. It was a 100-pin swing in those 2 frames.
Yeah. And then ever since then, Big Mo's been on the USA side, and there's no turning it round.
So the Masters semifinals will start at 8:30 tomorrow morning here local time. Bright and early. Stu will still be asleep, I think. And that'll be followed immediately by the women's Masters final, then the men's Masters final, then the women's team final, and the men's team final. And it may not go according to schedule. It may go a little quicker.
What time are they? Are we kind of imagining? How long are we thinking those singles matches are going to take?
And are they redressing? As quick as they did this morning, 20 minutes.
Are they redressing?
No, they're going to oil all the lanes at once so that they're ready to go for the semifinals and the finals for the Masters. There's one oil before that. They're going to spread it out a little bit.
Oh, okay. So you're going to have to move some cameras around and things.
Yeah, it'll be a bit awkward, but we'll figure it out.
Oh.
Bill misses it, so he will be low on the team at a 193. So that's what shows you what I know. But it doesn't matter. Team USA is going to win.
It always seems so unrewarding when you play a 5-man team game and it doesn't finish up close.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
You hope for it to be much closer and much more exciting, but the realistic thing is that with 5 players, it's easy for it to become a blowout more than anything because there's so much uncertainty. I mean, you have one guy shoot 150 for Denmark, and I mean that's pretty much the difference.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I mean, Chris Barnes is bowling a pretty solid game again at the bottom there. He started a bit
After
dodgy
a rough start,
and then just got back doing what he's been doing the whole week.
But so if I had to guess, I would say that the women's team gold medal match, 11:30, 11:45, somewhere in there.
Okay, so fairly early then.
Yeah, it's scheduled for 12:45, but I think that they'll back that up a bit.
So tomorrow's Thursday.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Tomorrow's Friday, okay.
Yes.
See, when you're in Vegas for as long as we've been, the days kind of just merge into one. Right, that's why we're finishing so early, because we're at the banquet Friday.
Exactly. Friday night's the banquet.
So hopefully anybody listening who actually lives within driving distance will get down here to Sunset Station and come and support the teams and the individuals.
Yeah, it would be nice. I mean, there's an okay crowd here.
The crowd started to come in quite nice towards the end.
Yeah.
It's just the European team is kind of quiet, and I've actually been kind of surprised at how few people have been here to support USA. The other teams, it's actually been a lot louder when, like Venezuela getting through would have been rowdy.
Sure, absolutely.
Canada was pretty rowdy.
Yep.
Pretty much any of the Central and South American teams, it's party time, isn't it?
That's what they do. They are good at cheering, that's for sure.
Puerto Rico were pretty loud when they were making a run at it.
Yep. Puerto Rico with a great tournament, finishing just 40 pins out of the medal round for the men. So
yeah, if it hadn't been for Finland, they'd have been in, and Finland had the miracle block almost, really. There goes Ida.
She's riding the bowling bag. Jason's scrambling to get a shot of it. I don't know if he got it or not.
Oh, he just caught her going out. She's always smiling. There she goes.
Daddy's girl, it says on the back of her shirt.
Yeah. She's got the split Finland and Sweden flag.
So we're just wrapping up here our semifinal, our gold medal match for the men. It's going to be Finland versus the United States, a rematch of the gold medal match from Munich back in 2010 at the last Men's World Championships. But a great showing by Denmark to make it to this point. Jason and Neil and I were talking earlier today about how tough the field is and what an accomplishment it is to just get to the medal round in the team event, because there's a lot of great teams.
To be honest, in any event.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, not just the team event, in any event.
But the team event is the one that's got the prestige around it for a lot of the teams.
No,
so
all I mean is with
sure.
the standard of the
Absolutely.
field.
Yeah.
It's.
But I think a lot of the teams really they take pride in the team event.
Oh, for sure.
And so it's a big medal. And obviously you want it to be gold, but I think that Denmark will be thrilled with the fact that they got on the medal stand.
Oh, definitely. Denmark have been making a lot of strides recently. They've been playing very well in our zone as well. They won 2 of the 3 team events in our zone. They won doubles and trios in Vienna. I think one thing that you notice when you see the Danish team is they've got a young group of guys, but they've kind of They've stuck with the same sort of guys, and it's able to bring the players through a little bit. I think that's an important thing. I think sometimes you're better sticking with the same guys and trying to trust in them to improve rather than changing the team in and out. It's very difficult to get good chemistry then.
Well, here comes the clap for the last ball for Team USA. And Team USA wins 10-50 to 973.
It's actually higher scoring on the short.
Yeah, 10-50, 973, Team USA. It was a good performance by Denmark. They were not that far away from pulling off the upset. Just a few frames away, really.
Just those couple of frames in the middle.
Opens, yeah.
But I mean, I also tip my cap to Team USA. They've had most of their squad bowling today as well, and they've done a pretty professional job, really. They didn't do anything special, but they got the job done, and they're moving on. They're still alive. One more good game for the week away from another gold medal.
Yeah, and that'll be tomorrow right here on Bowl TV, and we'll keep you up to date on Twitter and Facebook and let you know when the matches are going to start so you can follow along and watch these gold medal matches in the team event tomorrow. Well, thanks, Stu, for sitting in. Appreciate it. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow if you wake up in time.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, no doubt I will. I think I've managed to jet lag myself this week by getting up for the morning squad every time. So.
All right, thanks,
everybody.
All right,
take it easy.
We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.